Hey everybody, this is Phil the Kaiju King from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati, and in this video I just want to ask you a question. What is your favorite X Plus Godzilla 1964? Which version? I don't have every single version. I don't have any. I think there was a resin one back in the day, and I don't have the original release Rick with the closed mouth. But I have 5 in total, and I'm just going to kind of go bring each one up and go over them and tell you which one I really actually like the best. It's not an easy decision. It's all X Plus and they're all pretty awesome, so this should be really interesting. Alright, we'll start off with the first one right now. Alright everybody, I'm back, and here we are with my first what is your favorite Godzilla 1964 X Plus figure. First one is the winner of the cute and adorable section, the X Plus D4 series Godzilla 64 Rick. Also comes with a little Mothra on top of a rock, like it's shooting the webs at Godzilla, and also there's one attached to his tail. I like this thing. It's awesome. It does win like I said, it wins the cute award and adorable award, but it still holds characteristics and traits of the accuracy of the suit, the face and everything. It's easy to tell that it's the 64. I like the side views of it, especially with the Mothra on his tail. And just his pose, his side, he looks good from the sides. I think he's really a appealing figure, really nice figure. Of course, he's got that undeniable charms of the D4 series. Nothing wrong with that. The head and face, of course, is vintage 64 in my opinion, with the signature 64 eyebrows and the puffy, almost stubby nose, upper and lower jaw, and his all crooked teeth and all that. It's all really hollers and screams the 64. It's a really nice little figure, and he is a great addition to the D4 line too, by the way. But the X Plus D4 Godzilla 1964 is really an awesome little figure. Let's move on to another X Plus version of the great 1964 suit. We'll do that right now. Alright everybody, here I have the Godzilla 1964 X Plus 25 centimeter. This is the one that was in the set with the Mothra flying form. Excuse me. This is the one that was in the set with the Mothra flying form. I think it was a Wonderfest set, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then there's a footprint on the base of it that his left foot sets in, and it kind of stabilizes him. But it's a pretty nice figure. I'm using a battery pack for a tail stand here. He's in a walking pose, which is really cool. If you look at him from the side, you can really see that. His right foot is coming off the ground, so he's definitely in a walking position pose. Kind of a leaner a little bit, but his head is cocked to the left, which kind of counterweights that lean a little bit. But I think he is kind of a leaner to his right a little bit. But he looks really nice and everything. Nice details with this tree bark skin and the charcoal gray skin and all that. It's a pretty nice 25 centimeter figure. I will say that. Of course, all these X Plus 64s have the signature 64 face. It's hard to deny that these are not the 64 Godzilla, that's for sure. This here is the 25 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 1964. We'll go on to the next Godzilla 1964 X Plus collection, and we'll do that right now. Alright everybody, back with the original release 30 centimeter Godzilla X Plus Godzilla 1964 This is the open mouth. I think the Rick on this was a light up, but I'm not for sure. Somebody tell me in the comments, what was the Rick on this release? Was it the closed mouth with the light up dorsal plates? I'm not 100% for sure because I don't own the closed mouth. I wish I did. But this one, to me, is really impressive. I like how his tail stabilizes him and there's no tail stand. His tail does not touch the ground here or any surface. It's in the air, but the tip of his tail supports him. But really good sculpt, I think. The tree bark skin and the nice coloring of the skin. Everything's really nicely done on this figure. It's one of my earlier figures I got to. It was probably my fourth or fifth. I think the 54 was the third or fourth. So this was like my fifth figure I got. I think I got him with the 68 at the same time. I bought them both at the same time. So, because I had a double box day and I posted pictures of both of them together. So, he was 5 or 6, I think, of my Godzilla collection X Plus figures. Very nicely done. Details on him. Signature 64 face, really, to me. I like his look and everything. It's really awesome. Alright, we'll go on to my next X Plus Godzilla 64 in my collection. Let's do that right away. Alright everybody, here I have the X Plus favorite sculptors line, 30 centimeter Godzilla 1964. This is the Rick light up plates, translucent light up plates. I always use his battery pack for the tail stand. It works out really well that way. And plus I know where the battery pack's at if I ever want to light it up. So it's kind of a double good deal there. This one I like this, and the gigantic, the way their tails are. This tail goes off and to his left. The tail does touch, but it doesn't support him. He will lean back if you don't have a tail stand, see? So you have to have some kind of tail stand, so I just use his battery pack. It works out really great. But this one here has grown on me a lot, actually. A lot. As far as when I first got it, it's really grown on me quite a bit. I love this figure. It's really, really, really an awesome rendition of the 64 suit and the 64 Godzilla, really. It's just harkens you back to the film. Everything from his tree bark skin and the coloring, everything's just great on this guy. I mean, to a lot of people, I think when this came out, they skipped on it because the other 64s are just kind of similar. The biggest difference really is the tail stand. I mean, both left feet are forward on both figures. Both hands are generally kind of in the same position, same mouth position almost, but it's the 64, so. And it's a really awesome figure, actually. I'm very glad I decided to get this one, didn't pass on it. It's a great figure. Alright, we'll move on to the big guy, the final guy in my Godzilla X Plus 1964 collection. Let's do that right now. Alright everybody, here he is, the big guy, the X Plus Gigantic Series Godzilla 1964, the Rick edition with the translucent blue dorsal plates and the interchangeable open and closed mouth jaw, even though this really doesn't close all the way, it never has. That is the main thing on this figure that holds it back for me. It's very apparent, the crease line for the pieces for the jaw, rather noticeable. Compared to the 1989 Godzilla, it's night and day. They tremendously improved the piece option with the open and closed mouth on the Gigantic 89. you can hardly see that seam nearly as noticeable as a 64. Otherwise, to me, this figure is perfect. It really is. But that jaw piece is the most annoying thing of this figure. Other than that, it's great. It's really an awesome figure. I love it. It's great. It's dynamic pose. He's like in mid-step with his right foot and everything. It's just really nicely done. If this jaw piece was executed like the jaw piece replacement on the gigantic 89, this would be absolutely a perfect figure in my opinion. Actually, I'm going to say now, this is tied, in my personal opinion, with the original release 30 centimeter Godzilla 64. In my collection, these two are my favorites. It's a tie. If this jaw piece for the gigantic was like the 89, this would be the clear, far and away best one. But since it's kind of annoying to me, that jaw piece compared to the 89. That's why I'm holding it back as being on top by itself, and I put this original release 30 centimeter up there with him as a tie. These two are my favorites as far as the 64 X Plus figures. But I do think if this jaw piece was like the 89, the improvement they did to the 89 jaw piece, this would clearly be my favorite 64 by far. So it is really close, even though the jaw piece is a bit of a flaw to me. Alright, I'll bring up all of them for some closing comments, and I will do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. Got them all here, all my 64s, all 5 of them. The D4 reel, 25 centimeter, gigantic series, original release 30 centimeter, and the favorite sculptor's line 30 centimeter. Here they are. That's all my 64s in my collection. They're all wonderful, they're all great, they're all winners in my opinion. But these two here in the middle, they are my 2 favorites, and they're pretty much a tie at this point. But this gigantic, it was very close to decide my favorite. So the gigantic would clearly be the favorite if it wasn't for this jaw piece. But hopefully in the future, if they do open closed mouth on the gigantics, they do them the same way they did the 89, because it was a vast improvement from this, in my opinion. But these are all wonderful figures. I would recommend any of these to any collection, especially if you love the 1964. It's a very popular suit. In my list, it's number 3. The 68 through 72 and 73 through 75 are tied at the top as my favorite. Then the 62, then the 64. That's how I rate my suits top 3. So I'm kind of cheating because I got 2 at the top, but I just love those 2 so much. It's hard to decide between which one I like the most. But I would highly recommend all these figures to anyone that doesn't have them. They're great, they're awesome, and they're just wonderful additions to any X Plus collection. I'll bring the camera forward here to do a close-up of all these, and I appreciate everybody's time and interest in my channel. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. I'll be signing off now, and you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.